I'm Kit Noonan.
And I'm Kaelynn Serena Stanton. We're certified coaches and best friends from different generations who aim to simplify wellness. Soulful Wellness is a personal evolution podcast and community that embraces living well your way. No trends, diets, or one-size-fits-all advice here.
We share our personal and unfiltered experiences so you too can heal and experience your own wellness transformation.
Join us every Thursday as we embrace living from the soul.
Today, we're sharing 9 ways you can boost your immune system to stay healthy throughout the holiday season and all winter long. Thank you for following our podcast. Please leave a rating and review for Soulful Wellness during the month of November to be automatically entered to win one of our Soulful Jade rollers, which we will mail to you. We'll announce winners at the top of our December 7th episode to allow time for all Apple Podcast reviews to post.
Speaking of which, we just saw that one of you left us a review recently, and I'm so excited. I haven't read it yet. I just saw that it was up and live, and I want to read it, of course.
I'm very excited to hear this.
Okay, the title is My New Favorite. I recently found this amazing podcast and absolutely loved it. I always learn new things, and each episode is packed with practical tips. Highly recommend it with 3 hearts. Oh!
I love it. Thank you. That makes me really, really happy. And you are the first person entered in the Jade Roller drawing.
Yay. Oh, God, my heart feels so full. Thank you so much for your review. Oh, so excited. So let's get to today's topic. It's that time of year with Thanksgiving around the corner, kicking off yet another holiday season. How are we here? I don't know. That happened fast. And we're reminded that 'tis the season for getting sick. So today we're sharing 9 tips, including our favorite wellness supplements and wellness practices to boost your immune system and stay well this winter. The first tool, get plenty of sleep. So what's interesting is that studies have shown that just a few nights of inadequate sleep suppresses antibody production and our immune cell response. That makes so much sense to me. Like after a weekend of a few parties or socializing, the fact that only a few nights where you're like, oh, well, I only stayed up late for, I stayed up till 3 a.m. one night, but it's not a big deal. I guess it is.
I notice more and more the older I get, but even when I was young, I noticed the same phenomena. I get sort of a lack of sleep hangover type feeling. And it doesn't feel the same as being hungover, but it's its own kind of hungover.
Mm-hmm.
It's this disconnect from reality where I just feel like, am I still asleep? Like everything's happening disconnected from real time. When I have just had even one, but especially more than one consecutive crummy night of sleep. It's like I just can't get it all together. I can't kick into gear.
Mm-hmm. And I think it doesn't matter like how you're getting your sleep. Like if you're feeling run down, you want to take a power nap in the middle of the day and you have the flexibility to do that, do it. If you want to go to bed early because it's getting so dark so early now, like for me, I've been setting the intention like, oh great, I'm in my pajamas by 7:30. My only issue is I'm numbing with TV till like 11 p.m. So really defeats the purpose of getting ready for bed early.
It's funny you say that because I notice because it gets so dark so early, I'll feel like, oh, what? It's got to be 9, 10 o'clock. And I'll look at the clock and it's not. It's 7, 8 o'clock. And you would think that would make me more inclined to go to bed. Somehow it doesn't, but I'm still hoping to get there.
I'm glad we're in the same boat here, but it's good to know that if you feel an illness coming on, just take a nap, sleep longer, and give yourself that gift of more sleep because your immune system could use an extra boost. And it's such a simple tool, right? Like if we're feeling run down, just be sure to sleep. I don't know. It's a cozy tool for me.
The phases of sleep that my Oura Ring tracks are light sleep, which is the majority of the sleeping hours, I feel like it's a good night's sleep if I get more than an hour of REM sleep and more than an hour of deep sleep. During deep sleep is when your immune system ramps up. I notice my deep sleep comes in an hour's worth will come in the first 2 or certainly 3 hours of my night. I don't go back into deep sleep again later. So this bodes really well for nap times, because I think you're going to maximize your deep sleep time if you take a nap for an hour or 2.
We love it. Tool number 2. Eat more foods that support your immunity. So fermented foods. I've been eating a lot of kimchi recently. I have this gluten-free, dairy-free recipe book that was gifted to me. It's been a game changer. So I've just been whipping up eggs, putting spices which is one of our other tools actually, putting spices like turmeric and pepper and garlic on eggs, throwing some green onion in there and black forbidden rice and kimchi. And it's like a breakfast party. It's a really fun way to sort of give your meals a different flavor while boosting your immunity.
I love fermented foods, and I keep meaning to put kimchi on the grocery list, and then I, of course, don't do it because I'm not standing by the grocery list, and then I completely forget. Just seeing that that's going to help my immune system this winter is going to make me remember.
And why is it important? Well, 70 to 80% of our immune cells are in the gut.
The gut is sometimes called your second brain.
Everything in my past, like being sick chronically in college, it all makes sense now. It's all full circle.
You could be so much smarter.
I know, if only.
Just kidding. Your gut microbiota influences the development and activity of immune cells and modulates your immune response. We want a moderated immune response. Some of the things like my arthritis is an overactive immune response and becomes obviously the body attacking itself.
These first 2 tools are simple, right? Just intend to sleep more and add in foods that are going to support your microbiome and your gut. So colorful foods, beetroot, kales, carrots, strawberries. It doesn't really matter how you're getting the veggies in. One of my health and wellness coaches when I was a teenager, she said to me, I don't care how you get your greens in. Drizzle them in chocolate. Does not matter. Just get them in. So have some fun with it. Now, tool number 3, not so easy. And I don't really like this one because it's not, I don't know how realistic this is. Tool number 3 is try to minimize your usual vices. So the usual suspects having a negative impact on our health that hinders our immunity are alcohol, smoking, excess sugar, and late nights.
Which is pretty much just the description of the holiday season.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's like the most social time of the year. That's what the jingle should be. It's the most social time of the year.
Our pro tip here, we're advocating for substituting your habits so that you don't feel like you're missing out. And we're not saying don't do any of these. Mm-hmm. You're not going to go to a holiday party and not have a drink if you're somebody who enjoys drinking at holiday parties. But do the thing where alternate drink with a sparkling water or drink with, you can do some fresh juice, like a little spritzer that you make in between drinks so that you don't feel like you're sacrificing everything. You're still enjoying all the fun aspects, and you might even thank yourself the next morning.
Okay, so we know these things are bad, right? But I do want to share a few tidbits that are pretty insightful. And then we'll get into our second pro tip on this, which is how to be creative in maintaining balance and still having fun, right? So alcohol damages our gut lining. Again, wish I knew this way back when. This makes so much sense. So that can lead to leaky gut, which is horrible, trust me. It can lead to harmful microbes in your circulation, causing inflammation, right? So then on top of this, smoking decreases the white blood cell known as neutrophils. Excess sugar produces pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are alarm-like signals in your body that trigger an immune response, which can elevate inflammation. And finally, late nights can throw off the hormones of your circadian rhythm, which are closely linked to immune function. So it only makes sense that if we're doing all of this, me historically, that we're going to get sick. But I feel like we can get creative around this, right? Like sort of give and takes. Let's say we're going to have a really fun night at this holiday party with a lot of drinking. Well, what if we can limit excess sugar? Like what if we don't have dessert that night? Or what if we have a cutoff time where we say, okay, I'm going to have so much fun tonight, but I'm in bed by 11. You know, kind of getting creative around our vices while not being too restrictive or too off the rails so we don't get sick.
I think that is a fantastic idea. Another reason to really prioritize this is the things you just talked about, particularly alcohol, but also high sugar food consumption close to bedtime. Those things completely mess up your sleep. So many people think that drinking helps them fall asleep, and that's not wrong, but it doesn't help you stay asleep, and it greatly impedes the quality of sleep you're getting. You basically stay in light sleep. You're not getting REM sleep and the deep sleep. Mm-hmm. Your heart rate doesn't lower the way it's supposed to for a true restful night's sleep because your body's so busy working to metabolize all the alcohol or the sugary foods that you consumed within a couple hours of bed.
Totally. And sometimes I feel like I can forget that. I fall right asleep and then maybe I went to bed early after a social gathering and then I wake up feeling like absolute crap. It's because our sleep is constantly getting interrupted. That's such a good point to remember.
Mm-hmm. That actually motivates me when I'm on the sofa and I'm watching TV. It's kind of late night and I just kind of want a snack. The new knowledge that it really will interfere with my quality sleep. And I ask myself, how much do you want that? Do you want it enough to have a crummy night's sleep because of it? And my answer is almost always no. I don't want it that much.
Tip number 4. Spice up your life by adding spice to your meals. So this is fun because a lot of these spices like turmeric, cinnamon, thyme, and then cayenne pepper, ginger, garlic, they're seasonal, right? There's so many ways that we can incorporate this. And again, this is sort of a simple, easy tool. Just add in a little bit more spice because they're natural immune boosters and have anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and antiviral benefits, which we love. So this one is a little bit easier, right? Like making sure we have more color on our plate, more fermented foods, we're getting more sleep, and then we're adding a little bit more spices. I feel like all of these little things are going to add up in the long run. And it's not sort of a thing where, you know, one night we go really heavy on the spices and that helps us. It's slowly, consistently incorporating these spices.
As is true with all healthy lifestyle changes that we enact, it's consistency over time. Small new habits we can adopt and sustain that really make the lasting difference in our well-being. So I love what you're saying as you start experimenting a little more and maybe go to the co-op or somewhere that you're getting really good quality spices. So potentially you're going to eat less because you're getting more flavor and more enjoyment from your food. And just having, for me, it's all about habits. It's having my way to do things. And if you start incorporating these spices into your regular meals, then you're going to be more inclined to carry on these new habits moving forward.
For sure. And what I heard in there that I really love is it's all about enjoyment, right? Like making your meals more enjoyable for you. Like, what do you like? What flavors really bring out joy for you? Making wellness something that we can actually enjoy, nothing that we're dreading, nothing that we're forcing too hard. Sure, we're going to have to make sacrifices on occasion, but it's really about like diving into the authenticity so that these things are actually, these practices are sustainable for the long run.
Number 5, no need to overdo it on the workouts.
Woohoo!
Hit it, literally, HIIT.
Hit it and quit it.
Hit the workout. If high intensity interval training is for you, great. It can stimulate the production of immune boosting cells, enhancing your body's ability to fight off infections. But if high intensity interval isn't for you, just a quick hit of movement just getting things moving. It's about everything moving, flowing, increase your heart rate, your body temperature, increasing nutrient-rich blood and lymph flow. We want to help distribute immune cells throughout your body and stuff that your body needs to eliminate or excrete. Get it all moving on out.
Yeah, I love that. Again, we don't need to make it overly complicated. We don't need to make it overly intense. Like 5 to 15 minutes maximum, great. That is something doable. And so what's interesting about this is the science, right? It allows for a small inflammatory response without requiring extensive recovery. So this is kind of nice, right? It's like we're sleeping more and we're getting in quick bursts of movement, and that's all allowing our body to decrease in inflammation and help fight inflammation when it does come up.
Yeah, it's like helping your body do what it needs to do for itself to stay healthy. Just get things moving. Your body will thank you. And this is a big mindset change for me. I was, for years, decades, of the mindset that if I couldn't get, 45 minutes was really my minimum, and even that was debatable if it was really worth it. If I couldn't get that intensity and time commitment in to really call it a workout, I was like, I don't know, is it even worth it at that point? But all this science that I've become aware of in the past few years says, yes, it absolutely is. That's such a consolation to me, because I'm like, good, I kind of wanted to do that anyway, but now everything I'm learning is telling me that's a great way to do things. It's that whole permission thing, like giving me permission to do what I wanted to do anyway. I'm so much more likely to get a 10 to 20. I know we're saying, science is saying 5 to 15, but baby steps, I'm getting there. I'll do 10 to 20 minutes of a really brisk walk or a little jog. Then maybe I'll do it again later. That's so much better than not getting it in at all today because there just wasn't a chunk of time, or doing a really big hour-and-a-half workout once every few days, which is good if you're training for something, but it's a lot of stress on your system, and it does kick in an inflammatory response, and your body needs time to recover. When you do these little hits of exercise, your body kicks into gear, but then it can recover really, really quickly.
You're right. The body is so intuitive. It knows what to do. This is just about little things that we can do, habits we can implement to support it and help it do its thing and fight off infection. How cool would it be of an accomplishment to not get sick this winter?
That would be phenomenal. In fact, when I hear it, I'm like, but realistic? But why do I even have that response? Like, yeah, it's realistic if you really take steps. There's no guarantees, obviously, but I don't know why I think it's inevitable that sometime between now and spring, I'm definitely going to get sick. Why do I think that? I don't know. Number 6, stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah. We've got an entire episode on this. Staying hydrated supports immunity by efficiently circulating lymph flow, which carries immune cells and antibodies throughout the body. What's interesting is I didn't realize that being hydrated also preserves the integrity of your mucous membranes, which act as a barrier against toxins. I knew that the more we drink, the more we pee, which helps us, pee out those toxins, eliminate those from the kidneys. But I didn't realize that it would act as a barrier against them as well. That's really cool.
I don't think I ever realized that either, but it makes perfect sense. I remember being in middle school science, and you learn about the little cilia, is that what you call the little hairs in your nose, in your nostrils, so that when you breathe in, they catch germs and filter them so that they don't enter your system. And I remember learning about that and being like, that's pretty clever of my body. It's the same principle. It's like, we're going to have these things like mucus in your nasal passages that's sticky, and it's going to capture these toxins so that they can't actually enter the system itself. It's like my own little bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. So, staying hydrated, you can use electrolyte tablets. I like the brand called Noom. as well as the brand called Element. Those are ways that we can support ourselves and just making sure that, these toxins are not building up too much and that our lymph is circulating, which I'll add in a bonus tip from my functional medicine practitioner who suggested that I incorporate dry brushing as a routine. Dry brushing does the exact same thing. It helps our lymph move to carry out these toxins out of our bodies because unfortunately the lymph actually will just, I'm pretty sure, will just sit still and accumulate these toxins unless we actually intentionally help it.
Oh, and give it the platform to keep circulating, keep moving, keep it a moving, people. Help those little kidneys. They are working hard around the clock.
Number 7.
Oh, I laugh because it's 3 little words. Manage your stress. And I laugh because if it were so easy, we probably wouldn't even have this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Chronic stress causes elevated cortisol and inflammation, which suppresses immune activity by inhibiting immune cell activity like T lymphocytes. Did I even say that right? Lymphocytes. If you start to notice your stress levels consistently rising or just, those regular listeners, I call it revving too high, and I'm just revving too high too much of the time, focus on stress relieving activities such as a little hit of exercise or breath work. We can do our box breathing, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Or we have, dozens and dozens of episodes of this very podcast dedicated to tools for managing your stress.
Dedicated to the thing that is the most difficult for us, which is managing our stress. Yeah, there are definitely some recent episodes that you could pull from as well. Revitalize and Thrive, Chaos to Calm. There's plenty in our Rolodex for you if you want a more stress management focused episode. But again, if we get into that too much here, we're going to be here for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's so tough. It's so tough, but
yeah, not saying it's easy, but something to be aware of. Do your best. That's
take a vacation.
All we can do.
Take a vacation this winter.
Number 8, hit the sauna.
Kit, we need to schedule a sauna date. We haven't gone in a while.
We haven't gone in, I think it's months now. I think we've passed weeks.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love going. I love being proud of myself for sticking it out for however long we set and chatting with you, of course, and all the good it does. Studies show that a single 15-minute sauna session stimulates the immune system. It's a great way to boost your immune system when you're sick or in advance to prevent sickness. Sauna use briefly triggers your stress response, which modulates inflammation and boosts immunity. How great.
That is so cool. I love learning the science behind it. And even though we talked about this when we had the longevity episode last year around this time, the Chris Hemsworth documentary reflection where we learned a lot about this, it's so good to get a refresher on the science behind it. The fact that all you have to do is sip
water.
Right, you have to endure the heat, of course, but if you have a buddy, if you have a kit in your life, go ahead and schedule a date if you have access to a sauna, and all you got to do is sit. You just need a quick 15 minutes.
Can I put in an important reminder here that no matter how short you are on time, after the sauna or any kind of sweating, including after exercise, hit the showers. It can be super, super quick. Just at a minimum, rinse off, because those toxins that were excreted through your skin, if you let them sit and dry on your skin, are reabsorbed into your body, undoing most of the good you just did. I think back to all the years I did not know this and left the gym super sweaty, drove home to shower. But, by the time I got in the shower at home, it was a solid 20, maybe even 30 minutes later. My body had already reabsorbed most of the toxins it just sweat out. Hop in the shower. Get them off you.
Perfect. Last but not least, consider immune boosting supplements. Vitamin D, we are all low on. Bottom line.
I think now that we're so hyper aware of how damaging the sun could be and skin cancer and the cumulative negative effects of sun damage and sunburns over the years, we're so covered up or completely covered in sunscreen, that people are deficient in vitamin D. So we need to do something to combat that. And if it needs to be a supplement, then so be it.
So we'll give you just to make it easy and simple, our 3 favorites for winter are vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. Good to know that zinc supplements actually have been shown to shorten symptoms of illness by a few days. So lock up on that zinc if you're starting to feel under the weather. Get in bed, fall asleep, and just take it easy.
Today, we shared 9 easy lifestyle adjustments you can make to support your immune system so you can ward off illness and enjoy all the fun this holiday season and all winter long.
We are so grateful you joined us for another week of wellness goodness. Don't forget to leave a review and 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, and you will be put in our drawing for a Soulfull Jade Roller. Till next week, Soulful Society, peace, love, and light.
Peace, love, and light.
The Soulful of Wellness hosts are certified health and wellness coaches. This podcast is intended to inform and entertain listeners on their wellness journey. This podcast is meant to enhance, not replace, listeners' care from doctors, therapists, or other medical providers.